Hey guys, it's Jacob Jake's Metal Chat. I hope you're all well. And I haven't been doing as many videos. I was meant to do one last week, but I went out to the Griffin and More Beer Tap Room here in Bristol for one gig at the Griffin. One was at the tap room. The Drowning played the Griffin on the Friday, and Moon Reaper did their first headline set on the same day, and that went absolutely just absolutely brilliantly. And the bass player had to play with the Drowning that same night because their bass player was unavailable, and also had to play with the Drowning in Leeds. And I think he's got one more show to do with them this year next month, because happy Halloween, people. And he was I think I could only assume if you're going to play with two different bands that night, you're going to be knackered. And yeah, just two great gigs on a Friday, because I went out the day before and met up with some mates. And Saturday, I got to see the Infernal Sea again. Quality British black metal. Absolutely love that band. I can't remember last time we saw them before this. I think it might have been 2018 at least. I think. And get a bit of this in because my throat is quite hoarse at the moment. There we go. And yeah, just was absolutely just knacking after that. I could have done it on the Sunday, but I was just like, need to chill out and just relax, because every time I go to these gigs, I always try to do one, but then I end up doing more. But there you go. So yeah, here is my October update. My October collection update. I got 3 CDs and a vinyl to show you. 4 great bands. So without further ado, they'll all be in the description below, and let's get on with this. This is a band all the way from Venezuela. They have Paulo Jr. of Sepultura playing bass. This is their 5th album to date, and this came back out in April, 7th of April of this year. This is Cultura Tres, and I'm going to try and pronounce this album, and I do apologize if I mess it up now. It's Camino de Brujas. And if I did say the first name wrong, I do apologize. They played half of this album when I saw them at Grifffest back in September, and I got to meet Paulo afterwards. He's actually really cool to chat with. It's the back. And got the CD and the rest of the band. What do you get with these guys? Well, the class is sludge metal on Metallum, but I got that there in there, but I got a lot more groove and thrash in there, and it just blends really well. So if you're into those 3 genres, then you're gonna like this. You're gonna like this album here. Absolutely, this band's they were just absolutely excellent live. A lot of brutality in there. And what I got from last week of them, like last month even, playing Grifffest, this album's going to be absolutely top notch. And I can't wait to listen to the whole thing. Same with the next one I'm going to show you in a minute. So this is Cultura Tres. Next one is a band. I'm going to assume they're based in the same place as the 2 members, JJ and Paul. And this is their new band. They were in a band called Shadow Flag from Cheltenham in Gloucestershire. So I'm going to assume this is where this band is also based. And I got given this CD afterwards by the bass player and vocalist JJ for just say thank you for supporting his band, Shadow Flag, for a good number of years. And this is the new band, Gorgonchrist. They've been around. I'm not sure when they actually been around because it doesn't say when they formed. But the first album came out in 2019, which, let me get that up, which is called The Blood of Endangered Species. And this one is Fish in a Mountain. And they played a good chunk of this album at the Griffin on the Saturday where I saw the Infernal Sea. There's the back, and open that up, get the CD, and obviously the thank yous list. And you know what you get in a lot of CDs where it has a big thank you list, and even on back of some vinyl. What do you get with these guys? Well, on the Metallum, they're classed as black metal, crust punk, industrial, and yeah, there is that mix of it. There is that mix of it in there. Couldn't tell you what bands they're influenced by, because you know on the Metallum pages it says bands that are similar to, but a lot of them don't. But like I said, I'm gonna have all the bands in the description below, so you can make up your own minds and you can say what influences you're getting from these bands. And again, I can't wait to listen to this whole album along with Cultura Tres. And if you're into black metal, crust punk, you're gonna like this. Or if you're just into black metal, you're gonna like this. Maybe, not sure. If you're into crust punk, you may like this as well. If you're into industrial, you like this as well. But if you like all three of those genres, you're gonna like this as well. You're gonna like it as well. And yeah, and I'd like to thank JJ if he does watch this for giving this to me. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated, and I'll come see these guys again. So Gorgonchrist. Here's the one-man Death Doom metal band here in Bristol. It's Ollie Mason's band, and a lot of us know who Ollie Mason is here on YouTube, you know, because he's been mentioned on Ken's Death Metal Crypt, Death Doom Metalhead. Facial's been mentioned on Marchy with a C, and so many other great metal YouTubers. And you know what? I'm going to put a bunch of them down in the description below, and you guys can check them out if you're not familiar with their channels. But this band has been mentioned so many times. I've mentioned them on here. This is the new EP from Visions from Beyond and Portal to Inertia. Absolutely dark, dirty, evil Death Doom, and it's just, I love that stuff. I love that good level of Death Doom where it's just got that dark overtone in there, and it works really well. And I got the CD there, got a clip there. There's no picture of the man himself, but yeah, I just listen to this music and I let it speak for itself. It's just dark and evil. And this band's been going, let me just get them up, since 2020. Not sure when in 2020 you would have formed this, but bands, you know, similar to like Mortiferum and Disembowelment, and you can definitely hear that when you hear, I would say, let's go from there, Drawing Down the Darkness, maybe, or maybe even Lord of Flies, single from 2021. You get that Disembowelment sound, and I think there's still a bit of it left in here. Mortiferum, definitely, but there's so many other Death Doom metal bands that I can think of that he's mixed in. Maybe a little bit of, maybe not just a good chunk of Spectral Voice in there as well. If you don't have this, I'll have a link down below. Or if you're not familiar with them, then please do check them out, because it's just check this band out. Just check it out. Visions from Beyond, absolutely dark, evil Death Doom. Now for the last band, they're from London. I was meant to see them back in May this year for Necropolis, the first one, but I'm going to the second one because there's two bands that have been announced there, and I can't miss them. And there was a bunch of bands I wanted to see at the first one, but I got to see one of them back in July. And I saw one of them last time I saw them was 2019 here in Bristol and in Sweden. And this was one of the bands I was meant to see this year. And I'm gutted I missed them, but I'm hoping that they play Bristol next year. This is Vacuous and their 2020 EP, Catabasis. And that, yeah. And you can tell from this what this is going to be. This is evil sounding death metal at its finest. And I love that sound of death metal. And, you know, the logo, of course, you see a logo like that and think, yeah, this is going to be some nasty death metal. And I cannot wait till they come here. They come here to Bristol. And this EP itself is absolutely filth. And I posted it on my Facebook and Instagram, and I got likes from the band on both pages. So you guys are watching this, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. This is absolutely excellent. And of course, their album from 2022. Let's get that up. What's it called again? Dreams of Dysphoria. I might have messed that up right now. So still, I've had a pretty busy day today. So yeah, I think that, yeah. But this one here, Catabasis, yeah, it's just from the opening track all the way to the end. For those not familiar with Vacuous, then I do highly recommend that you go check them out. Down below, all the bands will be there. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that love death metal with this evil sound. And once they hear it, they're like, yeah, definitely, that's the band for me. And I've checked out so many bands like this, and I just can't get enough, because I prefer bands like this to, say, brutal, slamming death metal bands, because it's just something about this quality I like more from a lot of brutal death metal, slam death metal bands. But I still have my favorites within those subgenres, in those genres there. But again, I love this dark, evil, filthy, dirty sound of death metal. So please check out Vacuous if you love that sound of death metal. And that is it for this collection update. Before I end it, I will be doing, obviously, these will be at the end of every month, these collection updates. I got a chat I'm going to be recording at 6:30 here British time, and I'm hoping to get up straight after I do the chat. If not, it will be up the following day. As for the schedule, I'm just looking at it, I'm gonna do something, and I got this idea from doing my radio show. What song gave me the idea? My mate John, who I do the Metal Tavern podcast with, actually, and I will show a image of the poster at the end of this video so you can see what I'm on about, and I'll obviously have the link down below. He called it Jake's Metal Vault, and I'm just going to call it Metal Vault, and I'm going to pretty much do those when I have time every Saturday, and just show a band from, like, you know, late 80s, you know, early, mid, late 80s, early, mid, late 90s, you know, bands, like albums from whichever era, like decade of, you know, of thrash metal, death metal, heavy metal, you know, list goes on. And of course, the chats are still happening. It all depends on when I can get a guest and what days they can do it. Luckily, I have a guest lined up. He's another YouTuber I've gotten into, and I've seen him at a lot of gigs here in Bristol. He's a great guy. well, I've only met one of the guys, and that's Chris. I think he's the only guy I've met of this YouTube channel, and that's Crushing Sounds. And I cannot wait for this to do this chat. And yeah, and I'm happy and I'm thankful for a lot of you for checking out my channel, subscribing, and saying that you found a new band just from watching my videos and so on and so forth. I'll have a link to various other metal YouTubers down there, so you can go check them out. A link to my new podcast with John, who has joined Aventail as the lead guitarist. He was in the band years ago. And we'll have more episodes of the Metal Tavern podcast coming up as and when we are available to record them. And again, thank you very much for supporting my channel, keeping the banner of metal held high. I've been Jacob Jake's Metal Chat, and have a great rest of your Halloween.